Good evening, everybody. This is a public hearing of the San Bernardino CIC Board of Trustees. It is Tuesday, June 12th, 2018, and I call this meeting to order at exactly 6:16 p.m. Mr. Mendez, Ms. ML Garcia, Ms. Weaver,
Here.
Ms. Janie Silva,
Present.
Mr. Lopez,
Present.
Mr. Rosas, here, Dr. Carmen,
Present.
and Mr. Torres. Present. All right, agenda item number 3, discussion of proposed budget for the 2018-2019 school year. I believe I'll take it to Ms. Rendon.
I did it again. Go out and back in.
Good afternoon, Board President Dr. Carmen and Board of Trustees and audience. This evening, we will start off with our public meeting as required in order to discuss the proposed budget for the 2018-2019. We're going to go through and then we'll have any public comments that they wish to express. The first page is the notice of the public meeting. And this is just what we posted in the newspaper to comply with our requirements. And it is, we're having a public meeting at 6:15 today. And it's a comparison of the proposed budget to last year's budget. Overall, from the maintenance, debt, and total expenditures, we have a decrease of 2.26% from last year to this year. A little different than we had in the past. This evening, we are proposing or we're presenting to the board to approve the budget for the 2018-19, not the tax rate. We will have an additional public meeting here coming in August in order to set the tax rate for the year. Our following slide. This is a budget that is prescribed by TA that we need to set aside for EOC budget, and it says that before we approve the budget, we need to set money aside, and we have set aside $30,000, and this money is supposed to be for supplemental resources for those students to meet the EOC, pass their tests or remedial. So this complies. We have set money aside, and it's designated by a program intent code of 24 at the end. Next slide. Is out of order. This is the proposed budget for this year. Our child nutrition, which is our 101, we anticipate receiving $11,093,558 in revenues, and we have appropriated $11,093,558. Our anticipated revenues for the local maintenance is $102,271,812. And the appropriation is $102,271,812. It is a balanced budget. We anticipate our debt service, and this is where we pay our bonds, is $6,059,856, and our appropriations are $6,059,856. We say balanced budget is we anticipate that what we're receiving, we have appropriated for expenditures. Our proposed budget, when we present it also in our categories, and legally we are to adopt a budget for child nutrition, the general fund, and debt service. Federal programs are not part of this, and that is because that is a grant that's given to us, or NOGA, that the state gives us. We don't, the board doesn't, we do it as FYI, but they've already approved how much we're receiving. We have broken it down into expenditures by function, and our biggest function is 11, which is instruction, and that's instruction for the students. So 44.86% of the budget is going for instruction. You see the other one, the other functions, 12 is instructional resources, 13 is designated for curriculum and instruction, 21 is instructional, 23 school administration, and it goes down the line. We break it out so you could see the percentages that are allocated of all the funds that we're receiving between local, state revenue, and federal, where the appropriations went to. The highest being instruction, and the second part of it is our plant maintenance, which are our utilities and the upkeep of the buildings, insurances, bond, etc. You'll see that the revenues do equal the expenditures. Next slide is a comparison of last year to this year. And you can see that there was a decrease of 2.26%. Last year we did have in transfers, it was a higher amount. In transfers, we're just transferring from one area to other, whether it be to the debt service, or we have a separate line item for, let's say, athletics. We transfer money from a 1999 to their account 161. It's still in the local fund. Our charts, this is just in the same information in a chart basis. And we have 75.34% of the revenue that is coming from the state. The blue, the darker blue, 12%, is coming from local revenues, and then the turquoise color is coming from the federal programs, and transfers is a small slide that it's in between. Then we also did a pie chart by breaking it down the budget by object code, which is the 11, 21, 23 that we discussed a little more. Our third slide is the function by group, and it specifies the instructional group, what support is, student support, and what function it carries. Central office being function 41, district operations taking form of functions 34, 35, 51, 52, and 53. So we kind of grouped it in essence to what the operational clusters are. This pie chart is doing the revenues current year and next year. We broke it down by, just to emphasize where our money really, from the majority of the money, where it comes from. The purple area, as you can see, is a very large area. That is coming from state revenues, and that's where our attendance is where our attendance counts, all those special programs, populations, also some of the tax rates that they filter through the state. Other local revenue is 1%. That is derived from actual tax effort that we collect in taxes. So in this case, 1% of our budget is derived from taxpayers' direct payment. The other ones are coming in from federal revenues, which is indirect cost, our cafeteria, and so forth. Just wanted to point out the majority of how it's broken down. That's where our money comes from. We did post on our website. This is required. It's the budget summary report, and it is posted, the actual and the proposed. After it's adopted, tomorrow we'll post the adopted as required by law. The last slide is one that I included, and I'll be the disclaimer. We are not proposing to adopt the tax rate at this time. This was put in because at the committee meeting, it was requested that we spell out how much money we have transferred from the general fund to INS, that's the one that pays our bonds, how much money we have transferred from our regular fund balance into INS to cover our bonds. So the total through 2018, and I say 2018 is because we're ending this month, we have transferred $20,810,345 from the general fund balance to the INS in order to meet our obligations. At that, we have left our tax rate since 2010. The local maintenance is 117, debt service is 0.13490,
Ms.
a
Rendon.
total of 130.
Just to clarify on the tax rate, so we've absorbed $21 million within our own funds because we haven't raised taxes.
Yes, because we haven't raised the tax rate, we still have to pay. It's just like any of us. If we have a loan out there, we have to pay. We have to come up with the money. Because we have not set the tax rate in order to meet our obligations. The state has penalized us by keeping, because we haven't done our effort. They withhold some money. So we have to come up with a withheld amount from the state and also the portion of on the other, our effort. So we have to come up with those two combined with the state to meet our obligations. And that has to come out of fund balance.
So when was the last time the school district raised taxes?
From 2010 is when the TRE happened, and that's when they did the swap, and they went from, I think it's 0.23, 26, they went down to 0.13. So they lowered it down from the 20s to the 13. So somebody needs to come up with those 10 cents. So the district, those 10 cents have been costing the district this amount of money. And you can't pay it from state revenues. They have to come out of fund balance. So we've been transferring to the tune of that. So it's been since 2011 through 17 that the taxes have remained the same.
Thank you.
With that said, I open it up if there's any public comments.
Yes, agenda item number 4 is any public comment regarding the budget?
Yeah, this is in regards to the proposed budget.
All right, seeing none, do I have a motion to adjourn? Moved by Mr. Lopez, do I have a second? Second by Ms. Garcia. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. We adjourn at exactly 6:28 p.m.